One of the things I like about doing my horror movie marathons is it gives me a chance to check out some classics that, for one reason or another, I may have missed out on. For me, from the late 1970s through the 80s, there's no better horror director out there than John Carpenter. So for today, I want to check out one of his less heralded films. I'm talking about the 1980 movie, The Fog. I love foggy weather. It's so cool and ominous. It's really the perfect horror movie and video game atmosphere. Granted, my love for the weather phenomenon comes from me playing the Silent Hill games when I was a lot younger. I'm the type of nerd who will praise that game at a moment's notice, both on a personal level and, of course, a professional one. I had never seen the 1980 version before, but I did see the very bad 2005 The Fog remake because I heard there was going to be a Silent Hill trailer beforehand. What? I used to work at a movie theater. Seeing movies was free. I think I kept skipping the original because of how bad the remake was, and I have to say, I was a dummy for doing that. This movie is really, really good. I was drawn into this film right from the beginning. I've always had a fascination with the sea and those small fishing communities that seem to live in their own world. It might be why I like Lovecraft so much, and it may also explain why Carpenter has so many Lovecraftian elements to his movies. The Fog starts with a very effective ghost story told by an old man to a bunch of kids. I'm going to be honest, it kind of creeped me out in the best possible way. This movie immediately sets the perfect mood. It hits all the right buttons, and it's one of the better intros I remember seeing for a movie. Everything is so eerie, and when I say everything, I mean everything. This movie doesn't miss a beat keeping you unsettled. You have the old man's ghost story, and John Carpenter's haunting score kicks into gear. That combines with beautiful scenery, Adrienne Barbeau over the radio, and then the spooky fog. From there, the movie kicks into gear when you come across three drunk fishermen on the water, followed by the whole town seeming to come unglued all at once. And holy crap, I'm loving this movie. I guess I should talk about the story now. The town of Antonio Bay is celebrating their centennial when a hard-drinking priest comes across a diary from his grandfather, who was also a priest. Come to find out, when this town was formed, they gave the okay for a leper colony led by a rich man to set up shop about a mile away. Eventually, the town leaders don't like the idea of lepers living so close. So, when the colony is coming by sea to move in, a massive fog happens to roll over the area. Betraying them, 6 town leaders set up a signal fire on the rocks instead of a beach, causing the Elizabeth Dane to crash, killing all on board. Next, they steal the man's gold to build their town. 100 years later, the ghosties are pissed. Another thing you'll notice, the cast is phenomenal. You have 3 scream queens and Adrienne Barbeau, the mother-daughter combination of Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis, and you have the always awesome Tom Atkins, who is surprisingly clean-shaven. One thing that I enjoy when it comes to these older movies is how different society was back then. When you first meet Atkins, he's drinking a beer while driving his truck, and no one draws any attention to it. Anyway, you hear people talk about atmosphere when it comes to movies, and this one is atmosphere in spades. There are no wasted shots. Everything is there to make you feel a certain way. The foreboding score, the imposing fog, Barbeau's sultry voice over the radio, and the visual of the ghosts in the fog, it's all so good. Plus, it's incredibly creepy the way the fog rolls in, swallowing the town, combined with the way the ghosts knock on the door with their hooks. There were parts in this movie that literally gave me chills. If I had to knock one thing, it would be the ending. I understand the motivation for the ghosts, but their mission seemed kind of random. I don't want to get into spoiler territory because this is a wonderful movie and you should definitely check it out. But their choices of victims kind of straddles the line between making sense and just wrong place at the wrong time. It's a minor nit because I thought this movie was pretty great. 9 Dr. Chainsaws.